Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, a very warm welcome to you too. This video is all of the highlights from the 2025 Classic Motor Show. Now coming up in this video, we're having a look around one of the biggest and longest established shows in the world. It's been going since 1984, brings 3,000 classics, 310 clubs and more than 450 traders to the NEC for a massive end of season celebration. And this year there's a few new features, including a dedicated military display. There's also a massive 500 car and motorbike auction, a modified car display, and the very best of the best. After 10 years of the pride of ownership, there are the final 5. We're going to find out who our winners are and visit every hall in this, your complete guide to the 2025 Classic Motor Show. We've got 6 halls to cover, so let's start in hall number 1. Now hall 1 is the traditional home of the bigger clubs. Think BMW Club GB, Lamborghini Owners Club, AMOC, TVR Owners Club, MX-5 Owners Club, Ferrari Owners Club, all the bigger ones. They're in hall 1, as are Maguire's, and also the pride of ownership, best of the best. Celebrating 10 years, the top 5 cars are here. We're going to find out who the winner is at the end of the show, and I'm going to show you the top 5 in just a minute. But first, here are my highlights from the clubs in hall 1. So my first stop in hall 1 is BMW Car Club GB, because they've gone all out Alpina. Every single car on their stand is an Alpina, because it's a big celebration of Alpina this year, but it's also a bit of a, for me, a sad chapter, because Alpina at the end of this year will no longer be independent. It's been bought by BMW, so it's all going to get consumed within the brand. But there were some amazing cars on the stand. There was this beautiful 335i, and just look at those gorgeous pinstripes down the side, more block colours down the side there, that green and blue really showing the accents of that. One of 2 of this 3.5 litre, for example, ever built by Tom Walkinshaw Racing. What a fantastic machine that to it. Sat right next to it, you've got this gorgeous Alpina C2, a 2.7 litre E30, and just look at the depth of that colour with those gorgeous gold pinstripes down the side of it. What a beautiful machine that is. In the corner, we've got this 3.2 litre B3 Coupe, number 32 of the 80 of the Coupe. Only 35 of these were right-hand drive, and this one is far, far more subtle. From the outside, you've got those beautiful wheels, the lovely pinstripes down the side, that iconic look of Alpina, but inside, you've got that gorgeous 90s interior with this beautiful stripe on the seats. Absolutely stunning. Taking pride of place then, right in the centre of the stand, is one of the very latest, this B3 GT, and this is one of 1 produced in this purple silk metallic. Absolutely stunning. Would you say that this is its swan song? I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see where they go with Alpina under BMW's leadership, but I have to say the finish on this, that gorgeous silk purple with those gold details and gold wheels on the front, absolutely stunning. In the opposite corner then, keeping to more of a modern theme, is this beautiful F30. This is a D3 bi-turbo, number 153 of 358 right-hand drive saloons made for the UK. 2014 model this, and it is so subtle, isn't it? If that was to fly past you on the motorway, you would have to know what it was to really, really appreciate it. And that for me is one of the appeals of Alpina. You've got all of this performance without it necessarily shouting at you, not say like some of the M cars. Next to it, an E92 B3 GT3, number 74 of 99 produced, of which 3 were UK right-hand drive. So an incredibly rare machine to see here in the UK. Inside there, I don't know if you can just see it, but you've got those gorgeous bucket seats with that Alpina stripe down the side of it. Looks really, really mean, doesn't it? And then finally, you've got this E46 B3S Coupe, number 94 of 149. There was 35 of these in right-hand drive, but this one in that Japan red colour absolutely stands out. It looks fantastic, and the finish of it was glorious. Again, it's a little bit more subtle. It hasn't got the pinstripes down the side of it, but inside you've got these lovely little red details on that black leather, and on the outside of it you've got those multi-spoke alloys and this very sort of Alpina at the front. For me, BMW Car Club GB, this is one of the best stands here, and what a tribute to Alpina. Well done indeed. My next stop then is Lamborghini Club UK, and my oh my, they have brought out a real set of showstoppers. All of them Countachs at the front of the stand, starting with this gorgeous 78, and just look how simple it is compared to some of the others on the stand. You're used to seeing these with these huge wings and arches and so forth. This, it's still quite angular and out there, isn't it? But it's just that little bit more simpler. Next to it is a 1980 Countach LP400S. Of course, there you can see now those bigger wings are coming into place. Taking centre stage is this gorgeous black over gold wheels. It is the 1988 Countach Quattrovalve. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I know I probably said Quattro Valvo wrong there. Sorry if I did. I'm from the Midlands, so I can't pronounce things properly. But that huge 5.2 litre engine nestled in the back of there. And then finally, right at the very end, take a look at this. Also from 1988, this, the 25th anniversary edition. Doesn't it just look exquisite? And notice how some of those details have changed. Notice the vents on the back, how they're slightly different. The arches, the wheels tucked inside of them. For me, that and the black one, they're very, very close first and second between the two. Beautiful. Well done, Lamborghini. My next up then is Porsche Club of Great Britain, and it's not the rear engine ones that have got me all excited. No, it's tucked away in the corner down here. If you saw Supercar Weekend videos earlier this year, you've seen that I drove a Lamborghini tractor. How much I'd love to have a go on that. This is a Porsche Junior. It's got that 822cc diesel engine producing around 14 horsepower. What a wonderful little thing it is. Right next to Porsche is the Alfa Romeo stand. I have to say, their stand for me really stood out, because right on the corner you got this gorgeous Montreal with that lovely 2.6 litre V8 at the front, 200 horsepower with that dry sump, 137 mile an hour top end. What a beautiful thing it is. Got a great shot of one of these with the lights popping down at Bewley's Simply Italian show earlier this year. Just a couple of cars away from that, you've got the iconic SZ. Not to everyone's taste, but 1989 was a very striking thing, and it's still striking today, over 35 years later. It's got a V6 in the front of it, 210 horsepower, 0-60 in about 7 seconds from that 3 litre lump. Interesting looking car even today. On the very end of their stand then, we have got the 8C Competizione, that 4.7 litre V8 in the front, producing 450 horsepower. An absolutely stunning looking machine. This, for me, this is one of the all-time great Alfas. And then there's this simply exquisite 1964 Alfa Romeo Spider, 2600 with that 2.6 litre double overhead cam, 6-cylinder inline engine. What a beautiful, beautiful thing this is, full of exquisite little details. Beautiful. And interestingly, they've also brought along this, the Alfa Romeo Junior Veloce. This is an electric car, no less, 2025, but still looks very Alfa Romeo, doesn't it? I'll leave you past your comments in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this and all of the other cars in this video. Next up then is the Aston Martin Owners Club. As you can see, they're celebrating 90 years, and for me, it's this car in the centre under the lights that is just absolutely worth the stop in Hall 1. So this is a 1956 Aston Martin DB2/4 Mark II. That straight 6 up front, 4-speed gearbox in the middle. It's completely standard apart from a few modifications to adapt it to modern traffic. Acquired in 2008, it's sat in a garage for 35 years and now is driven as often as possible in all weathers, including for AMOC sprints. Best way to keep them on the road. Of course, one of the places that you definitely have to stop in Hall 1 is the TVR stand. Of course, they are celebrating 60 years of TVR this year, and for me, this could very well be car of the show. Take a look at this, TVR Speed 12. Yes, this is the one that was shown at the 1996 motor show, albeit it had blacked-out windows and so forth, and it was called the 712 back then as a nod to the engine size and the number of cylinders. It was then renamed Speed 12. There was a sister car to this as well that was designed for racing, and this was indeed intended to take TVR to Le Mans to compete in the GT class. It was essentially a race car, but the regulations required road cars to be built, and this car was being offered to selected buyers at £150,000. That's about £300,000 in today's money. Now, I didn't expect many takers, but the first day it had 3 deposits. Now, the sister car was built into a race car and competed in the 1998 GT Championships with mixed results. It was, of course, blisteringly quick, but it lacked the handling qualities of some of its competitors. It was withdrawn due to changing regulations and the demise of the GT1 class. Both cars were then stripped of their running gear, and a new project named Cerberus Speed 12 was developed to race in GT2. But my oh my, I remember seeing this back in the day. To see this nearly 30 years later in the flesh is absolutely incredible. And what I love is on the sign, they've scrubbed out the sign of 600 horsepower and put 800 horsepower. Wow, what a machine. My final stop then is Ray Herritz and Sons, because I bought this beautiful little Morris van, and look at this inside, okay? It's as pristine inside as it is out, but look, it's all open. You know, vans of today, you've got the cab that's all sealed off. No, there's no bulkhead in there. That's fantastic. And sliding doors as well, marvellous. I've also got this wonderful little fella down here, but look what's behind. Look at this, isn't it beautiful? So this is a 1947 Bedford Model OB duple coach. So what you see here is a beautiful example of these. They were really popular because it was the first sort of lightweight coach. It combined a low and laden weight with a high carrying capacity to give very low operating costs. Now this was powered by a 6-cylinder petrol engine with a mighty 28 horsepower and a 4-speed crash box. It's got different size tyres on the front and back, so there was no spare carried, and the body was a wooden frame over which panels are fitted. There was also a saloon heater, which was an optional extra, but even if it was specified, it made very little difference to the inside. And this one was withdrawn from service in 1970. It's been stored ever since. Cost when it was new, just £800. But you want to have a look inside, don't you? Come with me. And the owner has very kindly let me have a look inside. Now, I had Corgi models of these when I was a kid, but look at it in here. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? What a beautiful thing. But of course, what you really want to see is at the front, isn't it? So let's have a look, shall we? Look at this. What a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. I love seeing things like this preserved to this standard. What a beautiful thing. And a very big thank you to the owner for letting me have a look inside, and also for bringing all of his wonderful vehicles to the show. And so we come to the best of the best. Now, Pride of Ownership has been going for 10 years, and from thousands of votes, these are the final 5. And first up, we have Ted Brooks' 1961 Morris Minor Million. So this one won in autumn 2019. This is one of just 350 built. This lilac one called Milford has been a labour of love over the last 18 years. And even when Ted moved house, he didn't slow down. He built a new workshop complete with spray booths so he could finish the job properly. Will it win? Well, I'll let you know at the end of this video. Coming up next is Paul Clappinson's 1972 MGB GT. Everyone loves an MGB, and after years of searching, Paul found his perfect one, and this one is now an award-winning example. Since taking title in 2018, it's been a familiar sight at shows nationwide. It's been on Car SOS and MG magazines, even has been a gate guard at a previous show. Stood next to it is this gorgeous little 1956 Austin A35 by Colin Fiddler. Now, this one will warm your heart. This one was rescued from a front garden. It's nicknamed Rusty because it very much was. This one was restored by Colin, his brother Mark, and his dad Ronnie in memory of their late uncle Robin. And since winning in 2024, Colin has joined the Ayrshire Classic Car Club and taken Rusty to countless shows, even chauffeuring his daughter to the school prom. Brilliant. Next to that then, now this is a little bit more of my generation, 1983 Golf GTI Mark 1. This one won back in autumn 2017, and Simon here bought it when he was just 21. It was once an old rust bucket, but now take a look at this. 5-year rebuild. It's absolutely pristine. It's even inspired a Corgi die-cast model. What a brilliant, brilliant car this is. That is exquisite. And then finally, this one will make your heart warm as well. This is James Cribb's 1989 Austin Metro City. Now, Gertie was James's late wife's beloved car, and in 2007 it was fit for the scrapyard, but Marg said please, please, please don't scrap it. So it went round the back of the house. Just 3 months later she was diagnosed with an illness that would take her life just 6 months later, and in her memory Gertie has been fully restored. It's now done more than 140,000 miles. Believe it or not, James still pretty much drives it every single day. It looks like it's been put away in a museum, but like I say, it's always the best way to keep them on the road is by using them on the road. So those are the final 5. We'll reveal the winner at the end of this video. So that was haul number 1. Now haul number 2 this year is a little bit different because, well, there's a little bit over this side. However, the entire haul, and I really do mean the entire haul, has been taken over by iconic auctioneers and their mega sale. Just have a look at this. So iconic auctioneers have got around 500 cars and motorbikes going through the auction over the weekend. I would love to take you around each and every one of them, but that video alone will be about 2 hours. So instead, we're going to carry on into haul 2 for a new feature, which is their motorcycle showcase. So this is a really lovely new addition to the NEC Classic Motor Show. You've got things like this, which is the vintage Japanese motorcycle club. And you wouldn't believe that things like the R1 are now considered vintage, but 1998, they are getting on a little bit now, aren't they? Now, if you like stuff like this, make sure you tune in next week because it is Motorcycle Live and you'll get a full show guide from me on the very first day. Right behind them is the Honda Turbo Association. Look at these. How glorious is it to see so many of these all together? Aren't they beautiful? And quite right. Ride them, don't hide them. Also part of the motorcycle showcase is the BSA Bantam Club. Fantastic display there. There's also the BSA Owners Club as well. And check that out. I like stuff like that. It'd just be great fun to own, wouldn't it? I also really love stuff like this. Isn't that beautiful? Another show worth visiting if you're into motorcycles is the Bewley Motorcycle Weekend, a superb event that sees around 1,000 motorbikes come together for one glorious day down at Bewley. Also around the corner from there is the Triumph Owners Club as well. Take a look at that. The Meridian branch putting on a superb display. For me, this one right here is my favourite. So it might have felt like a bit of a quick stop there at the motorcycle showcase, but there wasn't actually that many stands with different motorcycles on there. It was tucked away in the corner of Hall 2. But what's interesting about the corner of Hall 2 is Hall 2, 3 and 3A, and then that leads into Hall 4, are all open. So the motorcycles behind us in Hall 2, and now all of a sudden we're already in Hall 3. Now Hall 3 has got a lot of dealers in there, so if you're looking for a new classic car, a new product, whatever it might be, your chances are you're going to have a good choice in Hall 3. And also in Hall 3A, where you can find a lot more automobilia, traders as well. But there are still a few treats to be seen, a few clubs hiding amongst them. Let's have a quick look. For me, this is one of my favourite dealers. It is Bruce Gretton Classic Benz, and just look at them. Aren't they all just absolutely beautiful? Very much my period, this 80s, 70s and 80s Benzes from yesteryear. Just gorgeous, even today. that for me is one of the best dealer stands here because it's concentrated on one mark in a very specific period. One club that I think deserves a lot of praise is the XJS Club, and celebrating 50 years of the XJS, for me, they don't look 50 years old. I think these are aging beautifully. There's something still very striking about that huge long bonnet stretching out in front of you, that glorious cab, and then the way it's signed off with the boot lid. And I have to say, the selection of XJS's on their stand and the fact they're celebrating 50 years is just superb. This for me is one of my favourites. Beautiful colour, and it's a V12 with cream leather with that roof down. Is there a better convertible for the summer? I don't know, but for an all-rounder, I have to say there is one that just nudges it, and it is this 1982 XJS V12 Lister. It's gone through a bare metal nut and bolt restoration with around 4,000 hours of labour, which makes it one of the most highly restored XJS's in the world. Performance modified by Lister in 1986 with their signature updates of body kit, load, suspension, engine modifications. Doesn't it just look factory fresh? Absolutely glorious. Another treat squirreled away at the back of Hall 3 is this rallying history, and take a look at this. Yes, it is a T16. Just look at that. Look how wild Group B was. It's only when you get close to one of these do you realise just how mad these cars were. Everything on them was just excess. Huge arches, massive engines, and look inside there. Tiny, tiny cabins, pretty much, well, there's the base protection of the roll cage and so forth, but it's nothing compared to modern rally cars, is it? And then look, sat next to it, the simple Lotus Cortina. Wow, what a little treat that is. Rallying history, love it, absolutely love it. There's quite a lot tucked away, including quite a few traders. Now obviously I'm not going to cover those in the video. If you are coming to the show next year or you've been to the show this year, you'll know what kind of traders are here, but you really can pretty much find anything here for your classic car at the Classic Motor Show. Just before we head into Hall 4 then, there's one final stop. It's more rally cars. And of course, it is some of the cars that took part in the World Cup Rally, and don't they look absolutely fantastic. 1970 Daily Mirror World Cup Rally, and just look at them. So glorious to see some of these so well preserved. Of course, lots of escorts, because back in the 70s, that's what you did. Amazing to see how much the cars changed from the 70s, in the 80s, and then through to the 90s. Beautiful display. So just as we go between halls, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, which is not Choice Vehicle Insurance Services. No, it's a new name, Howden Insurance Services. The only thing that's changed is the name. Everything else is exactly the same. And I'm not going to wax lyrical. They're not the best insurance company out there, because it very much depends on you and your circumstances and your car. But what I will say is they get to know you and your car, and should you ever need to call on insurance, that's really what you want. Someone with your interest at heart, not just looking at numbers on the screen. They're linked in the description below. Please do go and give them a try. Now, let's carry on with our show tour. Hall 4. Now, as you walk down Hall 4, you sort of hug over to one side of it, almost onto the right-hand side of it. What you really need to do is turn and start walking into it, because when you do, you're greeted with this. Now, there's lots of traders in Hall 4, but there are also some car clubs, and there's a very, very rare car. The only one in the UK, and one of only 68 produced. It's fiberglass. It's not what you're thinking it is. It's in fact a Volvo. Let's go and have a look. I was on my way down to this really rare car, and now this man.
Apparently this is some kind of list. I'm not on the list. Apparently I'm bundled in under H4 highlights.
Are you not a highlight then?
Right, I was going to give you this mug. I'm going to sell it for twice the price.
You reckon you get twice the price for that?
Who wants? Well, this better be in the video, not
it will
in the highlights, a little oversight.
What, you don't wait till the end, of sort of like part of the outtakes?
No.
Would that be even worse?
Can I be the beginning bit? Welcome to the
Go on then.
NEC Classic Car Show here in the Birmingham And we have your presenter for this video, Timothy.
Sorry. Hello. It's just there. It's just there. He was like, you haven't got a camera. There.
See, that'll make a great bit of video.
Give me that. I'm leaving you. Oh yeah, my mug. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. Bye. Let me show you this car now. It's very rare. And here it is, the Volvo Sport, also known as the P1900. It's a fiberglass bodied roadster with a tubular steel chassis. There are only 68 of these built, and this is the only one in the UK. They were built between 1956 and 1957, and it was Volvo's president and founder, I'm going to try and say his name right, Asa Gabrielson. He got the idea for the car when he saw the Chevy Corvette over in the US. Now, it used the engine out of another Volvo, the PV444, which was a 1.4 litre engine producing about 70 horsepower. They're fitted with twin carburetors driven through a 3-speed manual gearbox, and there was lots of other parts also taken from the PV444, but you have to say, what a beautiful thing and what an absolute treat to see it here. So of course you will know the Lotus Carlton, and of course Carlton's celebrating 35 years this year, but have a look at this. It is a Lotus, but of course it is not a Carlton, it is in fact a Senator. Now I do believe the story with this one is the car that donated all its parts was sadly lost, and they have built this. I think that looks absolutely superb. All the bits just fit on it so well. But it's not this car that's caught my eye, no. It's this Manta. Now, take a closer look at the paintwork and a closer look at that interior. And you might be thinking that someone has done this recently as a recreation, but no. This was bought new back in 1976, I believe, and in 1977, the owner fitted the body kit and did this paint job. And over that beautiful green are no less than 19 coats of lacquer. Now, it's been stored away for the best part of 40 years, and last year, the owner came to the Manta stand and said, I've got one for you. What have I got to do to get this on the stand? And they went and had a look. And sure enough, old 1980s bed sheets were taken off to reveal this absolute time warp of a car. Isn't that just absolutely fabulous? For me, this is one of the cars of the show. Marvellous. So a couple of highlights from Hall 4. Now, if you keep walking through Hall 4, you will find behind you, or behind me even, Hall 8. And down here is all of the Ford collection. Let's go and have a look. So as you come straight in, I said it was the Ford Hall, but first thing you're going to see is Minis, because, yeah, a bit of a mix down here this year. So walking past the Minis, you cannot fail to see the XR Owners Club. What I love is that they've put all white cars on their stand here from all different generations as well. Just take a look at these. When was the last time you saw this era? I mean, I love the XR3i. Absolutely adore them, but when was the last time you saw them? Look at this. They used to be so commonplace, didn't they? And now they just don't exist anymore. I have to say, that white, it's just the colour to have your XR in, isn't it? What a wonderful collection. Stand really stood out, really, really clean, lovely and bright. Great effort. Like that one a lot. There's also something you have to see just behind it. And it's this. This is no ordinary Transit. This is Supervan #1. As you can see, there's no engine up front because that stonking great V8 is in the back of it. Sat next to it is Supervan Edition #2. And this one does have the engine up front. Take a look at that. But for me, that is one of my favourite shaped Transits. That the most iconic Supervan of them all is Supervan #3, and it's here. Look at that. That for me still looks as outrageous as it did all the way back when it first came out in the 90s. What a fantastic machine. So good to see Supervan #3 and its elder siblings all on one stand together. That could be one of the best stands of the show. This is also a wonderful stand and celebrating 50th anniversary of the RS 1800. Just look at these. I mean, it doesn't get much more iconic than that, does it? What a fantastic thing. I'm sure I had a Scale Lecturer's car of that. I have to double check. And then road going version. I mean, I can still hear the noise of that engine roaring through the old Welsh forest, the tail wagging like that you would find on a Springer Spaniel, with that same kind of mentality of let's go do it. What a wonderful collection of cars, a wonderful display for some really wonderful cars. It's not just cars either. Take a look at this 1937 Fordson. Doesn't it just look glorious? It's so well preserved, and I always say this, you have to remember, with commercial vehicles, and vehicles have to work for a living, when they reach the end of their working life, a lot of the time they are just thrown away because they become a burden to the business. To see one that well preserved is just an absolute treat. In 1937, do the maths quickly, that's right, a couple of years, she'll be celebrating her 90th birthday. I did say there's some great stands here, but Capri Owners Club, they always go out and make all the stops. Look at this. Celebrating 40 years of Live Aid. They've gone all out. They've even got Live Aid playing, and they've got a full screen behind it with all the Capris around it. It's absolutely superb. Guys, I want to join your club because you know how to have fun. This is what car shows are about. What a fantastic display. Full marks. And so my last stop before we head down to Hall 5, because these guys are usually in Hall 5, it is the Y Register, Cabrio 04 and 02 Supercharged S Register. I know what you're thinking, it's a new Mini, it's not a classic Mini, but they are turning into classic cars, and I have to say, you will not find a warmer group than the Y Register 02S and 04 Cab. Absolutely superb, great display as always. Now, let's head back to your traditional home in Hall 5. And so we're down in Hall number 5, and this is a new one. It is the MVT, Military Vehicle Trust, and they've got a huge display of military vehicles. Everything from, well, the iconic little Willys Jeep. They've even got ordnance on display here as well. Check this out. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, please check out Tanks, Trucks and Firepower, because we set off things just like this. Look at this massive field gun here. You can see this in action with these huge rounds being fired. And now let's have a look down here, because look at this period ambulance just down here, and I bet you any money it's still got all of the gear in the back of it as well. So if military vehicles are your thing, please do check out Tanks, Trucks and Firepower, because, well, we have to keep this part of history alive, don't we? And of course, very apt at this time of year, because it is indeed Remembrance on Sunday, and they're going to be hosting a remembrance service here on Sunday. This was all filmed on the Friday, so on Sunday the entire place falls silent for 2 minutes as we remember those who fought so valiantly and those who gave the ultimate sacrifice indeed. And have a look at this half track here. It's just glorious that they've all got so much room around them so you can actually get to see them and see some of those exquisite details. Wow, what a display. Absolutely superb. A fantastic addition in my eyes to the classic motor show, the Military Vehicle Trust down in Hall 5. Now, down at American Custom down at Bewley earlier this year, we saw one of these cars win the round. It is American Classic Car of the Year, and the final is taking place this weekend. I'm going to give you a quick view round some of these fantastic cars. All of these have won their individual rounds, and don't they look absolutely superb? And in a minute I'm going to reveal who the winner is, but first let me just give you a quick show around. I love stuff like this, stuff that's still got some of that original patina on there, that, you know, it shows that it's had a life. That for me, oh, that's wonderful. But for me, this would get my vote. Just look at the presence of it, the size of it. It's absolutely glorious, and it still looks absolutely stunning. Look at the wood down the side of it. The size of it, isn't it wonderful? Absolutely wonderful. The lines, the design of it, the details, glorious. Then you've got things like this. Look at this. Can you imagine seeing this pull up outside your house? I mean, it's even got presence now, hasn't it? Wow. Look at that. And then finally, the Pontiac over here. The Le Mans, there it is. Which one has won? Well, I have the pleasure of telling you that the winner of Classic American Car of the Year 2025 is indeed this 1961 Chrysler Newport convertible by Jeff Mitchell. There's no missing this car. It's got eye-catching, period-correct Dubai red paintwork, enormous fins, canted headlights. It's got everything, even the Kelsey Haynes chrome wire wheels. It is peak 50s American style and restored to a high standard using period correct parts. It retains what is believed to be its original interior, including the electroluminescent Astrodome instrument panel. Powered by that 361 cubic inch V8 with the auto transmission, it is a true standout car. Fantastic. Here's another one of my favourite stands because I remember seeing these back at the Motor Show when it was at the NEC all those years ago. And look, it looks like the SV has only just come out, especially with those luminescent green lights. Good old MG X Power, absolutely superb. And when was the last time you saw one, let alone three of them all together? Beautiful, beautiful stand, lovely cars. Very nice indeed. So a new addition to the show this year, it is modified cars because they are starting to turn into classics. And look at this 32. Look at the size of those arches and the dish on those wheels. What fantastic presentation that is. Looks a little bit almost like a 33 from the front, doesn't it? Take your double glance, have a look at that. Beautiful thing. Now, keeping with the 32 theme, it is this. Yeah, when you say 32, you don't know whether it's Scotland or indeed the Golf. Unusual to see one in that colour, beautifully turned out. Now, keeping to the Japanese theme, here it is. Take a look at that, and I love this little detail. The little lights hidden behind there. This is when they used to properly modify cars, isn't it? Not just, you know, put it on airbags and give it a map and a bit of a pop and crackle. Porsches too. Do you remember when people started modifying these? You had to have money to modify those, didn't you? But that, in that colour, it reminds me of the old rough Yellowbird. Do you remember that? And then, I mean, these are worth money, but that is so well presented. Take a look at the RS Focus. Again, beautifully presented. You've got the mirrors on the floor to look underneath it. It's just absolutely superb. And then finally, there is the Mini. Right in the centre, beautifully finished. Lots of lovely little details in there. Fantastic. I really like this, the Pipercross display. I'm a big fan of this corner too because you saw that Golf in the top 5 earlier. All of those could be in the top 5 in my opinion, but it's just VW heaven along here. Take a look at that Jetta. I have a real soft spot for the Jettas. I like those a lot. But remember that modified display you saw earlier? Well, let me show you this here. Look at this. That could be on there as well, couldn't it? Yeah, that's brilliant. You don't see cars like this anymore, do you? Once upon a time, people would spend years getting their cars built up to that standard. Absolutely glorious. Last one for you then, keeping with the VW theme. Take a look at this. Yeah, it's a Harlequin. When was the last time you saw a Harlequin? And when was the last time you saw one in that condition? It looks factory fresh. That's brilliant. Now take a look at that British Road Services Parcels Department, and then take a look at this. There it is, 1968. Look at that wonderful, wonderful Austin van. Now, here is the Austin Morris commercial stand, and I've been trying to find new stuff. If you haven't cottoned on yet in the videos, stuff that I haven't featured on the channel before, and I have to say, things like this, I absolutely adore. Because as I said earlier, cars and vehicles like this, when they stop becoming useful, they're becoming burden, and a lot of the time they just get broken and forgotten and, well, lost forever. And these haven't, they've all been preserved. I mean, our cars we always love to preserve, but as you can see, even around here. Now there's one round here that I want to show you, because take a look at this. Look, I love stuff like this, stuff that's just been left alone, that shows its age and the fact that it's had a life and, you know, worked for a living. Look at this. This is, you know, almost as when it was all shiny and new. But there's one just round here. Take a look at this Royal Mail van. Isn't this absolutely superb? This one's on the Post Office Vehicle Club, and doesn't it just look wonderful? But there is one more I want to show you, but it's not one of these. It's still British. Let me show you. Yeah, it's these two. Have a look at this one first. This good old Maestro van. It looks absolutely factory fresh. And look, back here, it's still got all the livery on the back. Look at that. That was in service when I was born back in 1988, and then sat next to it, MG Montego. I still think they've got a bit of presence to them. Quite like that. My dad had a Montego as well. And so my second to last stop is here. This is the Women's Drivers Social Club, and I am absolutely all for this, because I do think we need more diversity. We need more women in the classic car world. In fact, we just need more people in the classic car world, don't we? We need more youngsters. But when they're turning up with a beautiful camper van, can you see this? Look at this. That glorious little caravan back there, and this beautiful Citroen DS and the Audi. It's such an eclectic mix, and I am all for this. I hope you get a bigger stand next year, because that is fantastic. And my final stop is here, celebrating 50 years of the launch of the Lancia Monte Carlo back in 1975. They've got three fantastic examples on here. They've got an 037 rally recreation, meticulously hand-built, of the championship-winning Royal car from Lancia's Martini Works WRC campaign in 1983. They've also got a Monte Carlo Series 2 Coupe, imported from South Africa in 2023, rust-free, fully recommissioned. And then this one you'll recognise, it is of course the Monte Carlo Spider, as driven by Mr. Clarkson for that final episode of the Grand Tour. Originally Factory Nero black, it's now Lotus blue, features Delta Integrale headlights, grille, bumper, Ferrari 308 headlights, Recaro seats. It's all there, even the fridge for chilled beverages. Partially restored after filming, here it is. What a wonderful way to finish off the show.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The public have been voting, and I can now reveal the Lancaster Insurance Pride of Ownership Best of the Best goes to Colin Fiddler and the Austin A35! Right, so, Colin, wow, look at you. I mean, you are out of breath. You're shaking like a leaf. What does it mean to win this?
I cannot put into words. Considering my uncle said this car wouldn't be good enough, honestly, I'm going to burst into tears the minute I'm off out of here, honestly. I just want to say thank you to my pal Ewan there, who's standing filming me. He's came down the last couple of times and gave me a hand, cleaning the car, moving the car. He's even helped working the car. I also need to thank my friend John, because he helped working the car. And obviously the car belongs to my brother Mark and my dad Ronnie, who'll be here tomorrow. So on behalf of us all, I can't thank you enough, honestly.
Well done, Colin. Give him a big round of applause.
Well, there we are, guys. Those are my highlights from the 2025 Classic Motor Show. What was your favourite part? Did you come to the show? Let me know in the comments below what your favourite car or vehicle from the show was. And if you didn't make it to the show, let me know what your favourite part of this video was. Put it in the comments below. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, can I ask a quick favour? Underneath, you'll find a thumbs up. Hit that and it will put this video in front of more people just like you. And also, if you really enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button, because there's loads more great content, including all of the highlights from my full show calendar from 2026, which I'll be announcing in the next couple of weeks. Coming up for you next week, it's all the highlights from Motorcycle Live. I'm back here on Saturday. The video will be live on Saturday afternoon. Hopefully, see a few of you there. If not, don't worry, video will be online. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.